Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. The goal of my fast cooking system is to make home cooking enjoyable and fun, but at the same time to increase our vegetable consumption. This video, I will demonstrate to you 8 methods how to cook a chicken dish with the vegetable, and that will make the vegetable taste great, but at the same time make the chicken also taste better. I'm going to cook this dish in my 14-inch Cucina stainless steel wok. I'm going to start out with 2 tablespoons of canola oil. I'm going to cook this dish in 2 separate steps. The first step, I'm going to cook the chicken, and the second step, I will cook the vegetables. The reason for dividing the cooking into 2 different steps because this will provide me with better control in cooking each of the steps. In the first step, I will shallow fry the chicken by first coating the chicken with cornstarch, also with a little bit of my basic seasoning mix and a touch of sugar. And this will create a light breading for the chicken, and when I shallow fry the chicken, it will create a nice soft crispy texture. I use my spot seasoning method to create a non-stick cook surface on the wok. Next, I'm going to add the chicken to the wok. I prep the chicken in advance, and I can take the chicken out from the freezer and thaw them out in a bowl of warm water, and I'm ready to cook in about 10 minutes. This is one of the most efficient ways so that I can cook chicken anytime I want. Since I already have the chicken cut in advance before I freeze them, I will be able to cook without any prepping. Using this method, I can cook chicken anytime without any advance notice. This makes cooking more spontaneous as well as fun. I use a pair of tongs to spread the chicken out on the surface of the wok. This method is known as shallow frying. Basically, I fry the chicken on one side first before I turn them over to fry the other side. My Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok is perfect for this type of cooking because it has a relatively large flat surface area. This will allow me to fry about 8 ounces of chicken in a single layer on the surface of the wok. Since the chicken is thinly sliced, it takes only about 50 to 60 seconds to fry one side of the chicken before it is ready for me to turn it over to fry the other side. When I turn the chicken over, you notice that the chicken is fried to a point that it is very nicely brown. In fact, some part of the chicken has been charred. The reason is due to the caramelization of the sugar as well as the cornstarch. And it took only a matter of another 15 to 30 seconds before the other side is fried. I use a pair of tongs to tear the chicken apart. Because the chicken is very thinly sliced, it cooks very quickly. And to avoid the chicken from overcooking, I switch to my wok spatula. By stir-frying the chicken, I will be able to cook the chicken more evenly. By using my spot seasoning method, I have created a non-stick cook surface on the stainless steel wok. As you can see here, I have no problem with the chicken sticking to the surface of the wok. And the stir-frying allow me quickly cook the chicken, and they are almost done in only about a minute and a half. To flavor the chicken in a specific way, I use 3 sauces. I start out with some oyster sauce. And this will provide umami flavor for the chicken. This is followed by a teriyaki sauce. I'm familiar with the flavor of these 2 sauces, and I know if I want to further improve the flavor of the sauce, I'm going to also use a small amount of a sweet and sour sauce. This is an approach which I call it flavor chasing, and therefore it is not really important for me to tell you exactly what sauce I use. You can always experiment to find the right sauce that you want. With just a few quick mix, the dish is done. I did a quick taste test and the dish tastes great to me, so I'm going to set it aside and then I will combine it with the vegetable that I'm going to cook next. This approach will allow me to retain the flavor of the stir-fried chicken. Use the same wok. Next, I'm going to cook a broccoli and cauliflower dish. A cauliflower and broccoli takes about the same amount of time to cook, so I can cook them together without any problem. The reason I cook the vegetables separately from the chicken because both the cauliflower and broccoli will take longer to cook than the chicken. By cooking them in two separate steps, I can control how I cook the chicken. At the same time, I can also control how I cook the vegetables. If I have cooked the cauliflower and the broccoli together with the chicken, most likely I'm going to overcook the chicken. And by cooking them in two separate steps, I can focus on cooking the chicken without worrying about that I might undercook the broccoli and the cauliflower. At the same time, I will not have to worry about when I cook the broccoli and the cauliflower that I might take too long. Therefore, I will overcook the chicken. Stir-frying the broccoli and cauliflower in oil will improve their flavor, but it will not lead to softening their texture. To soften the texture of the vegetable, I add a touch of water to the bottom of the wok. This is particularly important when I cook vegetable that is high in fiber, such as broccoli and cauliflower. The water will turn into steam and it will penetrate into the vegetables. This method is much more effective in softening the texture of the vegetables. As you notice that I use a water bottle to add only a small amount of water. This will just create enough steam to steam the vegetable without overcooking them. Also, the small amount of steam will not dilute the flavor of the vegetable. Next, I'm going to lightly season the vegetable with some oyster sauce. I also add a small amount of soy sauce. You notice that I did not measure the amount of sauce that I put in because I have a good sense of how much that I add. And this is probably the best way to season your dishes, give you a lot of flexibility, and you can always check the flavor and make adjustment as you cook. And the final step in cooking this vegetable dish is by adding a few cherry tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes will add color to the dish as well as add flavor. And with a few quick mix, the dish is ready. This dish is cooked with a basic template for stir-frying vegetables, particularly for vegetables that are high in fiber, such as broccoli and cauliflower, that it takes a little bit to cook them. And the final step is to place the chicken right over the vegetables. And by cooking this dish in two different steps, I'm able to retain the intense flavor of the chicken. And by adding the chicken on top of the vegetable, it makes the vegetable taste better. And this will allow me to have full control of the texture of the vegetables as well as the chicken. So as you can see, there are many different ways to create a stir-fry dish. As you can see here, with minor modifications, you can cook the same food ingredients that will have different outcome. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, fun. Using my fast cooking system, you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine. If you want to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.